Hello guys, welcome back to the plot. What a difference a week makes, eh? It's absolutely beautiful today, 22nd of March, and spring is in full effect. Sun is shining, the weather is sweet, the birds and the bees are all tweeting and buzzing around. It does bring its downsides because obviously the weeds are starting to germinate, everything's starting to burst into life. So we've just got to try and keep on top of that. I'll be going around my beds weekly hoeing, making sure that nothing gets a grip. Any of them nasty perennial weeds are all dug out by the roots as well. I've also nipped down to this end of my second plot and I've been clearing away the rest of the brambles. You can see the hedges are all about 20 foot tall down here as well, so that's another job to take care of. But yeah, I've been clearing. It's amazing how much space I've actually cleared in this second plot. Now it's a huge space. The ground is absolutely horrible though, so I'm still thinking. It's been years now that I've had this, well it's been over a year just. I've managed to clear it all down, get rid of the weeds, and it's just been sitting fallow, if you like. So I've got to try and think of something to do with it. I'll say the ground itself, I'm sure I've shown you before, is pretty nasty stuff. It's this horrible gravelly mixture of nastiness where people have been chucking all sorts down, sort of burning and pollution and rubbish and all the rest of it. The only thing that's managing to grow so far is this colt's foot here, which these lovely little yellow flowers here. It is classed as a weed, it is fairly invasive, but it's a bit of colour, something for the bumblebees to get hold of, so I shall leave it for now. But yeah, other than that, this patch of land is pretty nasty looking. I've got me was destroyed greenhouse on it. Started trimming back that fence at the back, the hedge rather. So yeah, I've just got to decide what to do. Wildflower meadow, orchard, raised beds, absolutely nothing. Got a decision to make. One of the first jobs that I do want to handle today is not one that I'm looking forward to. It's this stuff, the Comfrey. It's coming out absolutely everywhere. There's my gate, this is my main path, and there's Comfrey right in the middle of it. So I'm going to have a go at digging it out. It's going to be a nightmare because roots on Comfrey plant go really deep. So I've got to try and get all of them out if I want to make sure that the stuff don't come back. Comfrey itself is a lovely plant, the bees love it, and you can make fertiliser by putting the leaves into a bucket of water and it turns black and stinky, and then you can dilute that down and use it as a general fertiliser. But I've got it everywhere, and the ones in my path I don't want, so that's job number one today. Here we go, I guess. That's that first patch out there anyway. The grass will grow back there lovely if I keep trimming it. That's no problem. I've started to work my way over to this one as well. I'm going to leave this one, I'm going to take out those. Now, as I've complained about numerous times before, this ground is full of rubbish and all sorts, and you can see here there's a big sheet of plastic that's actually growing under there. It's prevented the Comfrey root from going straight down, so you can actually see the size of these roots that come off it. You've got a little patch of Comfrey here, and then that is the root, this massive, great big chunky thing here. Obviously that would usually be going straight down. That thing shows no signs of stopping underneath the grass here, so I've got a fair bit of digging to do to make sure these guys don't come back. It's quite nice though. Beautiful day for it. Look at that for a root. That's ridiculous. Hello boys and girls. Well, I've been laid off from work now. Obviously fighting this virus. I've got a minimum 3 weeks away from work. So I'm using my isolation time down here at the plot. Yeah, it's just all quite scary now, isn't it? I think a lot of people are getting the right idea though. They've got to isolate, they've got to keep themselves away from other people, which is what I'm doing. My journey down here, I do in my car, I don't interact with anybody, and when I'm down here, there's nobody else around. So that's absolutely fine for me. I'll give the lock and the handle on the way in a bit of a wipe just to keep things safe. But so yeah, I'm down here, and yeah, I find myself with a lot of time on my hands now. Still getting paid. Luckily the government are funding 80% of my wages, so you know, I've lost money but I can come down here and this is free, isn't it? So it is what it is. Do you want to have some real fun? I'm going to cut a hedge. Do you want to watch me do it? It's going to be awesome, honestly. If you've ever seen anybody cutting a hedge before, forget about it. This is going to be something altogether. Because look at it. It's just mental. It's like the biggest hedge ever. It's its tallest point, I would say. What am I, 6'12"? It's probably going on 18 foot tall, something like that, 18, 20 foot. I'll take you round into my plot and see which one it is. I've started to finish clearing up this back end of the plot now. can see I've chopped down the brambles. I've got a big pile of twigs and all sorts then. But then this thing here is going to become a serious menace to blocking the sunlight. I've got the hedge along the back end there, if you can see that, but I think other than giving it a bit of a trim, I'm going to leave most of the height on that, just to give the birdies and wildlife somewhere to live. Don't worry, I'm not actually going to make you watch me trimming a hedge, because I think that would test anybody's patience. But I've got my loppers here, because a lot of these branches are big chunky things. I've got my shears, I've got my secateurs, I've got a nice pair of gloves. I've got plenty of water, and as you can see the sun's shining because my eyes just look like two black pits. So yeah, I'm just going to get on with it. I'll see you in a couple of hours probably. That's really hard work. I'm not enjoying that at all. Just done like this little bit here, about 6 foot worth. Woo! It is really, really warm today. What are we on? I don't know what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. No calendar in my head because I'm not at work. Crack on. Well, this hedge is really kicking my ass, I'll be honest with you. It's absolutely knackering. Gone about 18 foot down so far if you have a look. But yeah, absolutely knacker-nude. Just want to show you something if I can get it. This really is a hedge that won't quit, honestly. Whew. As you can see, the sun's now over that way, so it's been a good couple of hours. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just, I'd never thought that there'd be that much hedge in a hedge. I mean, just have a look at the amount of clippings. That used to be a path, now it looks like goodness knows what. But no, it's little focus. I've done like all the front edge. I've got to go around and do the same on the other side, so yeah, it's looking like a 4 or 5 hour job, easy. So now if we have a little look, you can see that that hedgeway is a little bit more under control. I've got to try and get to that far end of it there. It was just a little bit of a stretch. I've done as much as I can from one side, but I can't get to the other side. It really opens up that back end of the plot as well. It really makes me start to think what I can do with it. Obviously that hedge at the back, like I say, just going to leave it. Nesting birds and all the rest of it will find that helpful. And there's no active plots behind there as well, so it's not going to cast any shade on anybody. Yes, not looking too bad. Huge amount of land that I've got now. Have a look all the way back over there as well. So yeah, back down on it. Day 2 of isolation. Now, if any of you are quite new to the old allotment game, you might look at this thing and think, oh, it's just a little bit of grass, I'll pull it up, job done. You're wrong. What this is couch grass. Now this stuff has big long white tendrils under the ground. And if you don't dig them big long white tendrils out, this stuff's just going to come back. And if you break the root in half, you're going to get 2 plants. So it didn't look like much on the surface. As you can see, he's going deep. So when you are digging over your soil, if you see a lot of these white roots, with a series of little roots coming past every inch or so, you do have to dig all of those out. Like I say, every single section of that where there's a root will grow into a new plant. It's couch grass. Know your enemy. Dig it out. Otherwise you will be digging it out all season. Well, that one tiny on the surface, you see that. Underneath, you've got all of this. The really horrible stuff. Oops, it snapped. But do you see what I'm saying? That's got to come out. One of the other weeds that I get quite a lot on my plot every year is this stuff. That's just rosebay, willow herb. It's also one of the easiest ones to deal with because it's quite shallow rooted and you can just pull it out like that. All of these seeds will have come in on the wind last autumn because they grow like a little feathery seed pod that carries on the wind quite well. So I'll say for me, I'll just go around. You can either hoe the heads off when they're young, that'll kill them, or just pull them out now. As you can see, the roots are nothing too much to worry about. What else have we got in this bed? We've got some dock here. You see that? That's even from a very young age starts to put down its long tap root. As you can see that. And the tap root is just that. It's a tap. The plant sends it down to find nutrients and liquid further down. So just make sure that you get these all out, all of the tap root, because that will grow back if you don't take it all out. Slightly bigger example here, it don't look like too much on the surface, but if we have a little dig down, as you can see, big long tap root. Any part of that left in the soil will grow back as well, and dock, when it flowers, produces millions of seeds, so it's best to get them out while they're young. Well, I've got a few slabs which I wanted to put round me little brassica cage here, but flipping no, they're the 2-foot ones and they're absolutely heavy as sin. If you have a look at them there, oh, it's a bit windy today, weather's definitely changed. So I don't know if my speaker will pick that up. So yeah, I just wanted to go around this greenhouse here, just with a few slabs and that. Save me having to try and get my strimmer right up to it. So idea is, when I've got that sheeting down, I'm going to go all the way up there and then I'll bring this bed out to it. So, you know, it'll just look a bit neater, it'll be a bit low maintenance. Look a bit nicer than all of that black plastic down as well, but yeah, flipping no, they weigh a ton. So really, I'll just take you on a bit of a look around. Just show you what I've been up to. I've got some slabs down here which have gone next to me brassica house, so that's absolutely backbreaking. That was lifting those around. They're not light at all. They must be 40-50 kilo a piece, and I've been lugging them around on my own. I broke my wheelbarrow, yes, I'm trying to put 2 slabs into it and it just said no, and just folded. So that's my wheelbarrow gone. I'll try and give it a little fix if I can. Other than that, you know, I'm going to try and get all the way around this brassica house if I can. That's just going to tidy things up a bit. They all need levelling out and all the rest of it. Outside, not a hell of a lot to speak of really. All the beds have been weeded out. And that's it really. I know we had a nice bit of weather earlier on this week. It's beautiful, in fact. I got a little bit of sunburn on my neck, but other than that, it's still very cold. Very early in the year. If there's anything you haven't done, don't worry, because it's probably not too late to do it. My tomatoes and my chilies are all at home on the windowsills, clogging everything up, but yeah, they're coming on quite nicely. And that's that really. I need to get my spuds out. I've not done that yet, but I'm in certainly no rush. I know a lot of people have had them out since sort of February time, was it St Patrick's Day and all of that. I tend to leave it a little bit longer because I have had a frost here as late as early June. So I leave it, what we're in, just about end of March now, so I'll leave it a couple of days maybe, get some in. Right, other than that, there's a couple of beds down here that I've pilfered as well. Somebody else left a plot recently, so I've had them too. They'll be quite nice. I might put my spuds in them. Oh, let's just take a quick wander down and I'll show you what I'm on about. This is it here. That's actually 2 beds, one on top of the other. So what I'm thinking about doing is having them 1, 2 here. I can put my spuds in them. They're out the way of everything else. So that might be quite nice. Anyway, as you can see, these slabs here are nowhere near level. After lugging them here and sort of slapping them down, I've not had the art to do any levelling on them yet, but I will get that sorted. There's my Foxgloves, looking a little bit weather beaten, but other than that, some nice growth in there, so we'll get some lovely flowers coming up. And then my lupins. Yeah, not a heck of a lot else. What are these? Are they delphiniums? I think they might be delphiniums. Tell me if I'm wrong. Imperial. Oh, actually, I've got a little tag in here. I might be able to tell you. Oh, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Come on. They are delphiniums. Which, I'll be honest with you, they grew here last year. I didn't know that they come back year after year, so they've popped back up and given me a little surprise, so that's lovely. Little patch of thyme, that's the only thing in this bed other than these couple of scratty looking strawberry bushes. But they'll come back again, they always do. fruit bushes that I planted in here. Not looking great actually. One of the what were they? Black currants, weren't they? So black currant here. This twiggy one at the front has just started to put out some little buds, as has that one, and then I've got a gooseberry there as well. Garlic at this time of year will start to look a bit yellow, a bit weather beaten. Certainly nothing to worry about. These guys are just you know, contending with all the elements and that. If you've had them out over winter, put a bit of bloodfish and bone on them or something like that, just general fertiliser, and that'll help them perk up. The outer leaves on them will die back naturally, so don't worry about that. If you have a look, some of the outer leaves have died altogether. As long as the nice new growth in the middle looks alright, that's the main thing. And then the rhubarb, you saw me taking the flower heads off of them. Obviously continue to do that, have a good rummage around. If you see any more flower heads coming out of them, nip them off. Can't see any at this point. But yeah, this is the stuff I grew from seed actually a couple of years back, so not far, and I'll be able to pull a few of them stems as soon as I am ready. What else have we got going on outside then? A little bed down there with me alpine strawberries in. So that's been weeded as best I can. That's that, and then the summer fruiting, sorry, raspberries. These are the ones that you don't trim back. Obviously plenty of life coming back into them as well, so hopefully we'll get some lovely raspberries on them. Bit of a mess at the minute right next to my shed door, but it is what it is. And with these guys, they obviously send runners out all under the ground as well, so if you have a look, I've got raspberries sprouting up all over the place. Not a major problem. See, if they're where you want them, keep them. If they're not, just dig them up. Got a few more slabs down here as well. One of my water butts around here is on the limp. So, what I was going to do, have a look. Not only have the birds pooed all over it, but it's also slipped off its base. And it's sitting at a bit of a jaunty angle, so that's going to get a new base put on it just to help support it all. I managed to repair the damage. This panel here got blasted out, so I've managed to get another panel in there. This is a good thing, and other than that, it's ready to rock and roll. Not a lot happening in there as we speak. I'll prove it. Look. Excuse me, is there anything happening in here? No, nothing happening. Apart from pot and tray storage, obviously. Now, this is where all the action is. So, as we walk into my nursery greenhouse here, seamlessly, dahlias, I've gone a bit dahlia crazy actually, so I've got dahlias in this tray, and that tray, and that tray, so they're all growing away quite nicely. As you can see, I put 2 seeds in every cell. I will pull out the weakest one. Or in some cases, obviously only 1 seed's germinated, and in one case no seeds have germinated, so it's just 2 cases, so it's just trying to minimise the amount of empty trays that you get by double sowing them. The onions are about there, they're about ready to go out now. Hello onions! Ignorant. Right, red onions, don't know why I struggled saying red onion there. They're all coming up. They're not always the best of plants, but I'll give them another go again this year. What else have we got? Lavender. Lavender's always a pain to get to germinate, but if you see, we have got some little lavendars. Hello little lavendars. So we should keep an eye on those. The marigolds at the back are marigolding. The lettuce that I put out, they'll all need thinning out to 1 a pot as well. I know what you are, you've managed to get in there as well. You look like a beetroot or something like that, but I might be wrong. What else? Brassicas are all starting to come up again. I double sowed these. So as you can see, where I've got 2 coming out of a cell, all I'm going to do is grab the smaller one and say goodbye smaller one. Again, this just tries to limit the amount of cells that you get without any germination in them. And the other lot of brassicas as well are all coming up quite nicely. As you can see, most of them have got 2 or 3 in a cell. And again, they're going to get thinned out. Put some shallots over here. No shallots coming up yet. Shallot are good, that is. And then the garlic that I'm not sure about, I think these are going to go in the bin. Especially that one, the Casablanca, because they're all twisted and nasty. Some of these have pulled through actually, the germadors, so I'll have to get them outside quite quickly if I do wish to. These are, do you know those alien plants that you got on Little Shop of Horrors, the ones with the big mouth on that talk to you and feed on blood? That's those, which, no, of course they're not. They're broad beans. Broad beans are going to be going out probably in the next week or so. They're completely hardy, so there's nothing stopping them whatsoever from going out. Just one in every pot there. There's only one that's failed to come up, so I'll probably find a mouldy seed in there. And me asparagus, Mary Washington, that I put out, nothing from those just yet. Mussable leeks are not overwhelmingly, successful, but we'll give them a chance. They've come up. They're going to have a go. What have we got in here? Some foxgloves as well for in a couple of years' time. Hello, I'm going to have a go at sorting out this bit of a dodgy area behind me. It's had a sheet over it for a good while. I've got these couple of beds here that I'm sitting on that I've had from somebody else's plot who's left. So I'm going to see if I can't set up a couple of little beds here, maybe something to put my spuds in. Don't know, see what it looks like when I get it done, eh? Right, here we go. Any time now. I'm looking forward to it. Moment of truth. Well, that's that cover taken off anyway. I've found a lot of weed roots, a lot of nettles, things like a mare's tail as well, and I also saw what looked like a rat as well, but it could have been a mouse running away. So there might be a little nest, or he was hiding under the plastic, something like that. Anyway, I'll get it cleared. Look at this for a tangle of weeds. Starting to remember why I didn't dig this area before, actually, looking at this soil. It's a bit of a nightmare. It's asbestos, loads of broken glass. Look at that everywhere. Oh my golly gosh. Oh well, it's all got to come out. Right, I've got an idea. Now, it's going to take a heck of a long time doing it like this, but it's because it's broken glass and asbestos. I do need to get it all out. There we go, so that's what I'm starting with. That's what I'm ending up with. Look at all them shards of glass. Lovely stuff. Still, at least the soil that I'm ending up with is nice stuff. That's something. Hello boys and girls, you welcome me here halfway through my big dig project, and I'm finding a heck of a lot of evidence of the previous tenants of this site. There were some bricks and some more bricks and loads of rubbish and broken glass, so it's becoming more and more evident that the previous plot holders here were naughty little boys. Now then, I think that's about the first bed done. Just going to get the board around it now, see what it looks like. And that's about where that one's going to be, which I don't think looks too bad. I've filled out some of the lower spots and everything like that because this ground is far from even. But yeah, I'm going to crack on and get the second one done now. Boom. Yeah, I did just say boom. Boom! Right, I think we're getting somewhere. I'm going to try and get that second frame down now. That's just been an absolute nightmare. There's been 5 wheelbarrows full of rocks and glass and all sorts just out of this little patch here. Oh dear, I tried not to swear there. Need to level them up a bit, don't I? But that's a general idea. I'm going to crack on for a minute. Boom. So there we go. Hopefully you can see the kind of thing that I'm going for there. Just a couple of little beds. I'm going to run a line of slabs. I have run a line of slabs for 1.5 anyway, up the side of them, just so that I've got entrance pointing the wrong way to my greenhouse. And then I've just got these 2 beds here as well that I can put some stuff in. Maybe some flowers, maybe some vegetables, maybe some fruit. I don't know. The world is my oyster. But yeah, it's really nice to get that bit of land cleaned up, really, because there was that much crud in it. It was sort of broken glass, old electrical items. Just basically imagine somebody's been using it as a dump for years, and a bonfire and everything. That was all in there. So yeah, it's nice to get that out and rejuvenate the area. So yeah. So yeah, there it is. It's not entirely flat, but neither's the ground. But you know, for my purposes down on the allotment, that's lovely. The area at the back there where it's all bare, if I leave that, that'll just grass over if I keep trimming it. And if not, I can do something else with it, find some more slabs or something like that. So yes, a couple of nice new growing areas. What are they? About 2 metres by 3/4. So there we go, not bad. And then of course leading on to my brassica house and the slabs that I'm trying to lay down there, which I've not moved since I put them down, I'll be honest. They're right wonky for this, I would call it a no dig bed. I've never actually have dug it, it's just compost laid on top of cardboard. So that needs edging as well. As you can see, all the battens are loose around it, but now that I know where my edges need to be, that is not a problem. So yeah, fairly shattering bit of digging actually that. It was not the most fun job. There we go. Right, trying to do it in reverse, it's not easy. Yes, that's about that. Oh. In the greenhouse, not much change actually. I need to get some more sowing done. Oh, hello. In the greenhouse, not much change actually. I need to get some more sowing done, to be fair. It's end of March now, so that's about the time that I'll really go for it here. My last frost is end of May, so that gives me 2 months for everything to grow and you know, get nice before I can stick them outside. So I'm going to go back now and knock this all together into a video using my editing wizardry. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you do, please click the thumbs up. If you don't, click the thumbs down. Let me know why. Let me know where I've cocked up and mispronounced stuff, or if I've offended you in some way. Yeah, other than that, that bit's done. That bit's like on the way, you know, everything else is just coming on. It's springtime, isn't it? Woo! Woo! Woo!